Hey, good morning, everyone. Hope you had an amazing day yesterday. We are here to talk about social media and personal branding. So I want to see everyone's phones out for this event, for this panel. Very important. I did tell you to put it away, you're right. Well, I said silence your phones, but keep recording, because this is an important panel. So we have three amazing agents, all from different parts of the globe, which is what is so amazing about this company. We are here, we have Dubai, UK, and the US. I'm gonna let everyone introduce themselves, talk about what platforms they use, and what you'll see is that each of you and all have extremely different platforms that they have used to really build their business. So Majida.
Hi, my name is Majida. I'm from Dubai. I use mostly Instagram and Snapchat. So those are the two main platforms that I use. Snapchat is big in our region. So those are the two platforms I use the most.
Amazing. We'll get into that a little bit more. Mark, first of all, congratulations again on your award yesterday.
Thank you.
Very well deserved. Let's talk a little bit about the platform that you use.
Predominantly, I use Facebook, and I think it's because that's what I've used on a personal level for so long, since it was almost kind of brand new. So Facebook has kind of built our business. I also use Instagram as well, but predominantly Facebook is the kind of key driver.
Amazing. And Alexis.
eXpCon, how you guys doing? You guys okay? I love it. These are amazing people. I'm so happy to be on stage with these people. My name's Alexis, and I do Instagram predominantly. And everything that I do on Instagram, I kind of reshare to Facebook and stuff like that, but mainly just using Instagram for the time being right now.
So what is it about social media and why is it so important for your business? Why have you guys used this as a tool to really push and drive your own personal business and brand? We can start with you. Yeah.
Okay. Social media for me is really important because it brings me business not only for my real estate business, but in general. I come from a concierge background, so I do luxury concierge. That was my business before the real estate. And I just showcase lifestyle. I showcase services and lifestyle, and I've been getting my clients. In fact, my first deal came via someone that came through social media. I mean, we built the friendship, but the first time, we ever met, it was on Instagram. We became friends, and a year later, I closed a deal that came through her in Dubai. And she's in Miami, so yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Social media just obviously transcends, global borders, right?
Yes.
So it allows you to open up a little bit more. And Mark, you were talking to me a little bit earlier about how you've taken an approach that really mixes personal and business, and that's really helped you grow your own brand and your own business. How easy was that for you? Was it hard to share your personal stories or more about your family or yourself as you were growing your business, or do you think that's extremely important as you build that personal brand on social?
I think it's essential because building a personal brand, the key part is that it's personal. So, Facebook and all social media, it's a free advertising platform. And back in the olden days when it was printed material like newspapers, that's where people were kind of looking for things, but you've got access to the entire world, really. But by sharing personal stories, it makes people understand who you are as a person. You kind of creating that kind of unseen relationship between potential clients. So it makes it then easier, as well as like advertising properties on those platforms, it makes it easier to find new clients that already know who you are and what you kind of stand for and a bit about your core values and things.
Absolutely, so important. It's nice to kind of see that mix and really to humanize yourself as well, right? So you're not just someone behind a screen, but you're a person with a family and a story to tell. Alexis, you've taken your Instagram, as you were even just talking about yesterday, to almost 100,000 followers in such a short period of time. What was your approach to getting there?
I always say this when I get asked that question. I think the number one thing with social media is authenticity, and that's the cool thing about a personal brand. When I joined, there were so many people doing what I was doing, and the first thought that anybody might have is that this is saturated. But a personal brand, it can never be saturated. Coaching, training, whatever industry we're in, it's a personal brand. It's yourself. So I think, and it's very important to understand that also when I first started scripting was something that I tried doing, but it took away the authenticity. So I think just being exactly who you are in person, in front of one person, is exactly how you should be in front of the camera, and that's how it's going to transcend into an actual personal brand. And like I think Cliff was saying yesterday, this is a relationship business. If you go out there now and you go to the mall and you want to make contacts, you meet someone and you shake their hand, you have a 2-minute conversation. They go on your social media, in 5 minutes, they can tell who you are and they can build that trust and rapport that might have taken, a couple months or a couple in-person meetings back then. So again, he said it's free advertising and it's a great way to leverage. There's 8 billion people in the world. How many of those people are on social media? And how many more opportunities are we missing if we're not on there?
So true. Okay, I want to break this down a little bit because, we all scroll through social and we see these amazing videos. And you're just thinking like, how long does this take? Or, how much time and effort goes behind each of these? What do I have to do to get there? So like Majida, when you think about your, creating your personal brand and using social, how much time and effort are you putting into that every day, every week? And what advice would you give to someone if they're like, okay, I want to do this, but how do I even approach it?
Well, if you don't have, a good following on social media, sometimes in the beginning it's really hard to put content that nobody will actually, like, or you don't have that platform ready for, you push and contact a lot, but then you have to just showcase your lifestyle every day. I take a video or a picture whenever I'm going out, if I'm eating something, if I'm with a friend, going on a walk. Today I was, this morning, on a walk with Dunya. I took a little video, I posted on social media, and I just leave it, So I just showcase my lifestyle. I don't do too much, I don't put too much effort, I don't do a lot of editing, but I post pretty much a lot every day, like everything I'm doing. Yeah.
And that's part of your personal brand though too, right? So, because your personal brand is really showcasing all elements of who you are, right? Yeah. So from food to exercise, from everything else, that's part of your journey of building your own personal brand.
Correct.
So Mark, when you think about that same approach, like is that something that you do? Are you very intentional about the things that you post? Do you think about them a little bit more?
No, I don't. I don't think about them too much. So it's very similar. It's showcasing your kind of life a little bit. So as well as putting like new listings and things on, I'll maybe do a photo of where I am that day, and maybe get people to guess where I am. Or if there's like a local coffee shop or ice cream parlour, do a photo maybe outside of there, so you're advertising the business as well. And just little bits like that, but nothing that I do is polished. I don't spend a lot of time. I don't do really any editing. I just kind of do something and post it, and then it's created like a really good kind of following, really.
So Majida, you said something interesting about posting and maybe not having a following. So Alexis, I'll ask you this question first because you've built it now to almost 100,000 followers. When you had 0, 10, 20 followers, were you putting in the same amount of effort into your content as you are now? And how did you build that following and grow that following?
So you guys saw me talk yesterday about self-belief. I had 1,200 followers when I started. Every post that I made, I thought I had 1 million followers. Every single time that I posted, I thought there was 1 million followers watching my video. And the number one thing about social media is value. You have to go out there and figure out, first of all, who's your audience? Why are you putting this video out? And what kind of value is that going to bring to the audience? And when you have that crazy, like right now, there's 300 of you guys here? I see 50,000 people. When you have that crazy delusional belief, it adds passion to whatever you're going to deliver. So every video that I posted and made, I made with the intention of this is reaching not my 1,000 followers, but my 1 million followers. And to kind of humanize the guys, obviously now I have a content team, we have 5 editors, etc. But in the beginning, it was me with a phone, a $30 microphone, and just frustration trying to figure out how to put these videos out. And that belief, that utter delusional belief that this is going to work one day. We're nowhere near where we want to be. But if you look back 16 months ago, it was an iPhone, a microphone, and me trying to figure out CapCut tutorials on YouTube, and that belief, and just thinking that your message is going to get out to the masses.
Incredible. And do you guys think about it the same way? You guys thought about it as you grew your following, making it so important that I'm going to put in that same dedication and effort for 10 followers as I am for 100,000 followers, thinking that I'm going to be hitting 1 million?
Well, for me, it was a little different. When I started my social media, I had some friends that were celebrities, so they were like helping me push or just reposting my stories. So that was a little different for me. So I grew my social media faster. I had, some like big names in the industry. They were just reposting mine. So for me, that was different. But for someone else that has 100 follower in the beginning, it's hard, but eventually you have to be very consistent. I mean, if you do it every day, 5 times a day, in a year you'll have like 50,000 or 100,000, but you have to be consistent with that. Consistency is super important with social media.
I agree, yeah. No, and I see you're all very consistent with your social media, which is great. So there's never a moment, I think, if I don't get onto Instagram and I see a post from you, Majida, or a new video from you, Alexis, and on Facebook from you, Mark, and just seeing the content that you're sharing. So obviously it's really important when you're building a brand to really focus on your story. How important is it, even from thinking about social media, what's the most important to you? Is it followers? Is it engagement? Is it shares? How do you approach that? How do you look at that from an analytics perspective as well? We'll start with you, Alexis.
Guys, it's just value. Don't look at the shares, the saves, the comments, the likes. If you focus on the result, you're gonna forget about the process. Just focus on the value. Like, how much value can you drive in the video and how much practicality can you give to your followers? Eventually, guys, it's gonna work out. But if you're so stuck on the results, like Majida said, it's amazing that you have to be consistent. For the first 6 months, there was nothing. I'd keep posting, 1 like, bro, you're so annoying, stop posting, bro, 2 likes, bro, shut up, we get it, you're on social media, we get it. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. I'm driving with value, and eventually that one video, like I said yesterday, guys, one video, every single time that I record a video or a piece of content, this is the one. That's a belief behind this is the video. So I'm just focused on value. I'm not really looking at the obviously the team looks at the analytics so we can figure out what's working and what's not. But I was just focused on providing value. Yeah.
What about you, Mark?
I think it's just about being consistent. And somebody said yesterday about that they had somebody talk to them to say that basically they watch all the stuff on social media, but they don't like or comment because they don't really know how it works, or they don't want other people to realise that they might be looking for a house. So it's not all about the likes and shares. It's just being consistent and getting your message out and knowing that, or believing that there is an audience there watching it, even if they're not fully interacting. But then I've found like a lot of the personal stuff gets far more interaction than genuine sort of property kind of information. So I did a post yesterday once getting the award, and that's got about 280 likes on there, which is probably the most I've had on my page. But it's quite a tough time to build that following up.
Yeah, absolutely. Majida?
Is it something else? Another question? What was the question?
Just how important is it in terms of analytics to you, or is it you just really focus on the content as you're building your personal brand?
Well, I like engagement more on my posts. So I post a picture, I'll send it to Dunya, Asma, Ahmed. I'll send it to like all my friends for them to to engage with the post.
Right.
Because what the algorithm does is if you have posts with more engagement, they push them more, they explore. So you get to more people, more following, more houses sold. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So it really helps drive your
Yeah,
business,
it does.
right?
It does help drive my business. Also, like posting personal stuff is very important, as you just said. Now, people want to see like what you do on a daily basis. They don't care about the house you post unless they want to buy a house. They want to see what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. So I do post, just like my driver opening the door for me and I'm going to see a house. I post everything, not just the house itself,
Yeah.
I post some fun stuff, mostly stories, not on my page. So I would just, throw personal stuff in there every day.
Well, because like I've said yesterday, it is a relationship business, and
Yeah.
people want to know who they're getting in business with, right? It's not just about the house, it's not just about the sale, but it's about who are you as a person.
And it's surprising. People will be like, hey, where are you? Like, you didn't post for 2-3 days, especially on Snapchat. Snapchat is huge for us, like in our region. So sometimes I'll go like a day without posting and, hey, like, are you okay? Like, people that don't know me, Yeah, and then I'll have to post again. So you feel like you have to. It's not, if you want to grow your following. And my Snapchat has been growing, surprisingly, it's been growing super fast than any other platform, just because I post on a daily basis.
That's amazing.
And Snapchat is, in our region, people don't ask you your phone number, they ask what's your Snapchat. It's that, it's very different.
I can attest to that. I used to live in Dubai. It was very different. So, but it is amazing too. Like there's so many platforms out there. You can't be building your personal brand and building every single platform at the same level as you're building maybe one or two. So it's nice to see that there are so many different platforms that you guys are all focusing on to help build your personal brand. We have 5 minutes left. I was in a regional rally in Toronto where I got to see Elizabeth speak, and she said during her talk, don't compare my chapter 20 to your chapter 1. And that really stuck with me because it's very true. We're very quick to say, oh man, Alexis has 100,000 followers. I'm never gonna get here. Like, I just discovered this guy. I'm just gonna throw my phone about I'm done. I can't even do this. But if there is someone who is working on their chapter 1 and you're on your chapter 20, what advice would you give to those agents, to those people who are trying to build their personal brand and get started? What could they learn from your mistakes or your journey?
So if you're a new agent that just started on social media, I'll just say post a lot of content. Don't forget about the likes and the views. Just push content out there and do a lot of collaboration. Collaboration is really important nowadays. You can, like me and him can collaborate together and get more engagement because he get access to my following, I get access to his following. And then now it's not only about the UK and Dubai. I mean, he has Dubai people looking at his stories, and I have UK people or people that are interested to buy properties in the UK look at mine, then maybe they're interested now to buy in Dubai. So collaboration is really important in our work, and consistency. Every day, post every day. Again, my chapter is different than someone else's chapter, but they eventually get there. I was there when I had 10, 20, 100,000, now I have like almost 200,000. But it took me like 2.5 years or 3 years to get. I didn't start in social media very early. I was on social media, I was off social media for 2.5 years in 2018, 19, and I came back to social media just 2.5 years. So just with consistency, valuable content, post what people want to see. They don't want to see houses only, they want to see more than that.
That's great advice, but also it's good to hear that it took you 2.5 years,
yes,
right? Again, so someone might see it and be like, oh, I can't do this. It's not, everyone wants that instant gratification of I want to do it, post once and be a social influencer. I want 100,000 followers by tomorrow, but there is that time that it takes, and it's really good to hear that. Yeah.
My niche might not be, your niche, or everybody has a niche. Everybody, So you just find your niche, keep posting, and just engage with I engage with my followers. I reply to every single comment. I try. Sometimes I have my assistant do it for me. I people, we're not famous. Like we have to part of your business engage.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mark, would there be anything you would add to that?
Probably, if you're just starting out, then action is better than perfection. If you try to make everything polished and perfect, then it's that procrastination. I'll just kind of delay things. And my very first video on my Facebook page, when I look back now, is absolutely horrendous. It's really cringy, it's awful. I took loads of times to try and record it to get something that I was happy with, but it's still awful. But that started my business, and within 24 hours, I think it'd been watched 10,000 times, and that doesn't sound like a lot in one respect, but I had no followers at all. And that was just because of the, I suppose the, family and friends, supporting me and kind of sharing, so it reached quite a few people. So yeah, just take action and be consistent. Just keep doing it regardless of the results, because knowing that something is going on in the background to gradually build this following. And also just talk about followers. So if you look on, it was on there, my Instagram account, I've only got a couple of hundred people, so my Instagram's rubbish. But on Facebook, I'm just under 6,000, so it's nowhere near like these guys on Instagram. So you don't need a huge number of followers, just the right kind of people.
That's such a good point. And you're the #1 agent in the UK, so 6,000 followers, you got it. It works. Alexis.
You're gonna make me go over time again.
Definitely not. I'm running this show, so you have 38 seconds, because then I gotta get back there.
Now I have 28. I think the biggest thing is fear, right? I want to address that real quick. How many people here post on social media every single day? Raise your hand. How many people know that you can make more money from social media? Raise your hand. Right, so I think the first thing is impact, and in order to impact, you need revenue. So I think it's kind of like categorizing that fear again. Are you more scared to get on the camera and have someone write you a hate comment, or are you more scared to not reach your potential goals as far as impacting and creating more revenue? So I would say start from there. I'm negative 2 seconds. Michael, what are we doing? I'll wrap it up with this. Just to piggyback on what they said, guys, understand who your audience is. First of all, my audience is realtors. I'm doing attraction right now. I'm not focused on production. If you're focused on production, make sure you guys go out there and educate buyers and sellers. A lot of people host property tours. Make sure you guys are educated. Like, separate yourself. This is about why should I work with this person, not how cool or whatever. Lifestyle is very important. I do agree with that. But you want to ask yourself, why would this seller or buyer scrolling through these thousands and thousands of agents, why would they want to work with me instead of that other person?
Amazing. There's 40 seconds over. Okay, thank you guys. I think I encourage you guys to talk to, are you asking? Yeah? Oh, I would say during the coffee break, make sure that you talk to everyone and ask some more questions. We got to keep this show going. So Majida, Mark, Alexis, thank you so much.